I was walking through the forest. I was feeling a bit depressed. My mother had just left. It had been raining. I was cold. And suddenly I looked through the vegetation and I saw one of these golden termite mounds, and there was a black shape hunched over it, and I crouched down. I used my binoculars and I saw this hand reach out and pick a leafy a grass stem, and I could see it push down into the termite mound and the chimp eating the termites off. So it was, I didn't actually quite believe it, because at that time it was thought that humans were the only creatures to use and make tools. In fact, that was our definition, man the tool maker. No sharp line. It's not, you know, it used to be thought that there were all the animals, and then there was a sort of gap in evolution, and suddenly there we are, Homo, on the other side. But the chimps teach us we're much closer. There isn't this big gap. You know, the behavior, we see so many similarities, not just with chimpanzees either. They have altruism, like you can adopt an infant that isn't yours. You can't consider apes are like humans, but you can say there are certain respects that we extend to each other that we should also extend to the apes. They deserve respect, they deserve compassion, they deserve freedom from torture, just as humans do. Well, what I think is, if I was a bull, and we now know that cows have feelings, they can feel pain and fear. If I was a bull, I would not wish to be part of a bullfight. I'm quite sure of that. Well, it was unfortunate. It was very sad, because elephants are now facing extinction. When the king shot the elephant, it shocked people. The speed with which elephants are disappearing is shocking. It's really awful. Like Tanzania has lost 1/3 of its elephants in 3 years, and they're shooting about 60 elephants a day. It's awful. And this is across Africa. It's not just Tanzania. You know, I think, well, you can't just sweepingly say politicians. Some of them definitely listen. But what we must realize is we need to get 50% plus of the general public to support them when they make a tough decision. And usually they make this decision and everyone fades away and says, oh, but that's going to cost us more money or something like that. And so that's why politicians say one thing and do another. It's because we are not supporting them enough. You know, I know there's an economic crisis, and of course some people are really suffering, and that's terrible. But for the average person, they may find they can afford a little less, and they may discover, but I can live with a little less. And that's what we have to learn. We have to learn that this materialistic society of everybody having a bit more than they need, buying more food than they need and wasting it, having more clothes than they can possibly wear, and the more money you have, the more extravagant you are. And on a planet with finite resources, this idea of unlimited economic growth doesn't make sense.